In this video, I'm going to be talking with you about the difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack. Now, even though some of the symptoms may feel like they're the same exact thing, they are not. And I'm going to break this video down into three segments: onset, cause, and symptoms. So let's jump into it with onset between a panic attack and an anxiety attack. When we talk about onset, when it comes to a panic attack, the onset is very sudden and it's very rapid, and it literally comes out of nowhere. When I had my very first panic attack, it came out of the blue. I was not expecting it. I was not anticipating it. There was no gradual buildup. It was sudden. And that is when you know it is a panic attack. On the other hand, an anxiety attack is very gradual. It is like a dripping faucet. It is very small. It is very slow, and it eventually gradually builds up. Panic attacks are sudden, like a rush. An anxiety attack is a drip. It's rather slow. It takes time, and it gradually builds up to an attack. It's very gradual until it becomes intense, but it happens over a period of time. Which brings us to the next segment, which is the causes. Now, with a panic attack, there is no identifiable pinpointing factor as to what causes a panic attack. Like I mentioned, it is out of the blue. It comes out of nowhere. There is no identifiable trigger, which creates an issue when you do have a panic attack, because you begin to get yourself into analysis paralysis stage, which I've talked about before, where you start going through your routine for the day. You start going through your routine for the week, and you start pinpointing what caused it. Was it something I ate? Was it something I did? Was it somewhere I was? So you start, falling down this rabbit hole of trying to pinpoint the cause for it, when in all reality, maybe there is no cause, right? Now, with an anxiety attack, and we talk about the cause, generally there is a way to pinpoint the main root or the cause of your anxiety attack. I've mentioned this before. Whenever I think about anxiety attacks or anxiety in general, I talk about it as if it's a superpower. It's like Peter Parker's spider sense. For me, anxiety attack typically is triggered when I'm doing too much of something or too little of something. For example, not getting enough sleep, or maybe working too much. So there is that balance you have to find. So with anxiety attacks, you can typically figure out the root cause of it, but it is a gradual, slow buildup. So you have time to figure out, okay, I feel like my anxiety is building up, my stress is building up, and I may eventually have an anxiety attack. Now, the third part of this video, the one that a lot of you really want to know, are the symptoms. What are the symptoms? What are the differentiating symptoms between a panic attack and an anxiety attack? So let's talk about panic attacks first, and I'm going to put these up on the screen so you have a more visual sense of what I am talking about. When we talk about panic attacks and symptoms, they're classified by 4 of the following symptoms. So you have to have at least 4 of these for it to be considered a panic attack: feeling dizzy, excessive sweating, heart palpitations, trembling or shaking, nausea or abdominal pain, feeling of choking, numbness or tingling sensations, chills or hot flashes, fear of dying, feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or faint, feeling detached from reality or oneself, fear of losing control or going crazy. Now let's talk about anxiety attack and the symptoms that are included in that. With anxiety attack, you may feel the following symptoms: muscle tension, sleep disturbances, dizziness, shortness of breath, restlessness, irritability, mind going blank, and concentration difficulties. Now again, when you look at this list, those symptoms are dramatically different. If I was to draw a Venn diagram, some of those symptoms may fall in the center where, both of them have similar symptoms, and that's where people get confused, is if I'm having a panic attack or an anxiety attack. I've had many panic attacks in my life, and when I had the very first one, it was one of the scariest experiences. I've shared that on this channel before, but I really wanted to share with you today the difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack. So the next time you feel like you're having either one of those, reference the symptoms and the onset and the cause that I talked about in this. And please feel free to visit the rest of my videos on this channel, because I've been sharing a lot of practical examples and advice on how I have been going through my journey with anxiety disorder and going through my journey with panic attacks, and how I've come out on the other side. And there is this beautiful silver lining on the other side. I feel like anxiety and panic attacks and depression are this incredible source for you to figure out what it is you need to do in your life. Even though, as I say this, many of you may be like shaking your head like, Arslan, that sounds crazy. What is wrong with you? I want this thing to go away. I want this to disappear. But I promise you, my incredible friend, mere yaar, my dost, You will grow through this, I promise you. I'm sending you my positive vibes. Please feel free to reach out to me. Let me know how I can be of support or value to you. And if you found this video or any of my content on this channel helpful, please consider liking this video, commenting, subscribing, because that'll really help get this content out to more people who may be suffering in silence and want the answers that I'm providing here for you. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.